What if I told you that when a woman likes you, she rarely says it directly, but she's already telling you in ways you've probably overlooked? Here's the Stoic truth. Attraction isn't declared, it's leaked. It shows up in patterns, small decisions, and unconscious behaviors. And once you understand these 6 signals, you won't chase her. You'll simply recognize what's already unfolding. Carl Jung said the unconscious expresses itself in subtle symbolic ways. That's exactly what female attraction does. It's not loud, it's emotional energy looking for safety. Right now, you might be waiting for a clearer sign. But if she's doing these 6 things, it's already happening. And the Stoic man, he never rushes. He observes. He lets her reveal herself on her own terms. If you're ready to read the signs most men miss, like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications. Number 1. The truth. Hidden in her eyes. Why most men miss her signals. The biggest mistake men make with women isn't saying the wrong thing. It's not seeing the right thing. Women rarely express attraction with bold moves. Instead, they communicate in quiet, unspoken signals. A lingering glance, a subtle lean forward, a soft laugh when no one else is laughing. These signs are often missed not because they're too subtle, but because the man isn't paying attention. Stoicism teaches presence, and presence is the only way to decode these invisible signs. In today's dating world, many men are taught to take the lead, to pursue, to act, to close. But without emotional clarity, they either push too fast or hesitate too long. A woman's attraction doesn't usually announce itself with words. It reveals itself in patterns. Repeated eye contact mirroring your movements, asking personal questions, finding reasons to stay nearby. The problem is that most men are stuck in their heads, not in the moment. When you're thinking, is she into me or should I make a move? Now you're not observing, you're projecting, and projection leads to misreading signals. That's when a man assumes friendliness is flirtation or completely overlooks real interest. Here's where Stoic philosophy becomes your edge. Epictetus once said, "You cannot control what happens, but you can control how you respond." Instead of reacting out of hope or fear, the Stoic man watches with calm neutrality. He doesn't need her validation to feel valuable. He simply observes and lets her actions speak louder than assumptions. Now, let's break a myth. If she likes you, she'll make it obvious. Not true. Attraction is a dance of tension, of subtle reveals. It's less about what she says and more about how she shows up around you. She may playfully tease you. She may lean in when you speak. She may mimic your posture or seek your eye contact in a group. These are not coincidences, they're invitations. But here's the key. You need to recognize patterns, not isolated moments. One compliment means little. But if she compliments, listens deeply, laughs more than necessary, and keeps appearing in your orbit, that's a message. The Stoic response isn't to immediately act on it. It's to stay still, present, composed, not to chase, not to ignore, but to slowly deepen the connection with intentional conversation. Ask thoughtful questions, pay attention, let the attraction grow without pressure. Example, you're at a cafe with friends. She sits closer than needed, remembers something you said earlier and teases you about your drink choice. A reactive man jumps in with a flirt. A passive man ignores it. But a Stoic man leans back, smiles and replies, "You've got good memory," or maybe just selective curiosity. It's confident, calm, and reflective of real presence. This kind of presence is magnetic because most women aren't waiting for a performance. They're waiting for someone who sees them and isn't shaken by silence or uncertainty. So why does this matter? Because when you stop chasing signs and start recognizing signals with clarity, you stop guessing. You begin to lead from strength, not from need. You let her feel seen, not analyzed. That difference, it's everything. Now comment below. I don't chase signs, I see what's real. Number 2, the emotional blueprint of female attraction, what she's really responding to. Most men believe women fall for looks, charm, or wealth, but these are just the surface layers. Real attraction runs deeper. It's emotional, psychological, and energetic. The truth is, a woman responds not just to how you look, but to how she feels when she's around you, and more importantly, how you make her feel about herself. Female attraction, unlike male attraction, is rarely immediate or visual. It unfolds subtly in layers. While men may be triggered by beauty, women are drawn to behavior, your calm, your attention, your emotional control. That's why the man who listens deeply, who maintains his presence in discomfort, and who makes her feel emotionally safe, often wins where louder men fail. From a psychological standpoint, this traces back to evolutionary wiring. A woman's subconscious seeks safety, not just physical safety, but emotional security. She wants to know, can I trust him with my feelings? Will he remain composed when I test his limits? Will he stand firm when others waver? These are the questions she never asks out loud, but her body asks them constantly. And she listens with her heart, not her ears. This is why subtle signs of attraction matter, because they're reflections of emotional response. When a woman leans in during conversation, when she mirrors your gestures, when she laughs at your dry jokes, or touches her hair while talking, she's not just being nice. She's unconsciously signaling that she feels good in your presence, and that feeling is everything. But here's the challenge. Most men misread these moments. A smile might just be courtesy. A laugh could be nervousness. One signal is not enough. The key is in the pattern. Does she consistently seek proximity? Does she listen actively? Does she remember small details you mention? These clues, when stacked, form the emotional blueprint of attraction. Unfortunately, many men operate with impatience or false confidence. They either act too soon, ruining the buildup, or overanalyze and miss the moment. Stoicism offers a third path: quiet observation without ego. Seneca once wrote, "Nothing to my way of thinking is better proof of a well-ordered mind than a man's ability to stop just where he is and pass some time in his own company." This ability to sit still to watch rather than chase allows the Stoic man to discern what's real from what's noise. Let's take a real-world example. You meet a woman at a gathering. She smiles when you speak fine, but she also moves closer during conversations, mimics your posture, and keeps asking you deeper questions, even when others are talking. This isn't coincidence. She's emotionally engaged, and she feels safe enough to show interest. The Stoic man doesn't leap into action. He doesn't inflate his ego or turn the moment into a performance. Instead, he leans into curiosity. He may ask, "You seem like someone who pays attention. What's something people often miss about you?" That question doesn't seek validation. It deepens connection. That's the difference. So how do you apply this insight? Watch for behavioral patterns, not isolated gestures. Attraction reveals itself through repeated cues, not one-off signals. Create emotional safety. Ask thoughtful questions. Listen without interrupting and maintain calm eye contact. Stay grounded in yourself. Don't get swept up in the moment. Let her come toward you emotionally at her pace. This kind of attraction can't be forced. It must be earned through consistent presence and emotional integrity. And when a woman senses that you're not trying to impress her, but to truly understand her, she responds. Because while others are busy chasing attention, you're busy earning connection. And that's how attraction becomes real. Number 3, the language of teasing. When her playfulness means more than words. She teases you because she likes you. You've probably heard that phrase before, and it's true, but only partly. Teasing isn't always attraction. But when it comes from a woman who feels safe, who is invested, and who lights up when you respond, it's one of the clearest signals she's drawn to your presence. The real problem: most men don't know how to read it. Or worse, they respond in ways that kill the moment entirely. Let's unpack this. When a woman teases you, especially in a lighthearted, playful way, she's doing more than just making a joke. She's testing the emotional space between you. She's asking, can you handle me? Will you stay calm? Can you turn this moment into something deeper without breaking the fun? Teasing is an emotional probe, and your reaction determines whether the door stays open or quietly closes. Psychologically, playful teasing releases dopamine, the brain's pleasure hormone. It creates light tension and emotional movement. When used well, it's a shortcut to emotional intimacy. It says, we have our own world. We can joke, we can flirt, and it doesn't have to be serious. This kind of micro-flirtation builds rapport quickly, if you know how to engage without ego. But here's where most men fail. They take it personally. They hear a playful jab and respond with defensiveness, sarcasm, or overcompensation. Instead of laughing and leaning in, they try to win, and in doing so, they lose the connection. A stoic man, by contrast, welcomes teasing, not because he needs her approval, but because he understands that lightness often precedes trust. He doesn't take offense because he doesn't take himself too seriously. His identity isn't built on appearing flawless. It's grounded in being present, being playful, and being unshaken. Example: you're on a coffee date, she says, "Black coffee, you must be a bitter soul." Now, most men would chuckle awkwardly or rush to explain their taste. But the stoic man smiles and replies, "Only bitter on Mondays, but I make exceptions for good company." That's not just banter, it's leadership in conversation. It says, I hear you, I see you, and I can play with you without losing my cool. Here's the deeper insight. When a woman teases, she's giving you a chance to match her energy, not overpower it. She wants to know if you can dance with her emotionally. Can you be light without being weak? Can you be playful without turning it into a game? So what's the application? Pause and smile when teased. Let your body show comfort before your words do. Respond, don't react. Answer with confidence, not defensiveness. A short, clever reply works better than trying to one-up her. Mirror her tone. If she's being light, stay light. Don't turn a joke into a debate or a lecture. Be okay with losing the joke. Not every line needs to land. What matters is the vibe, not the punchline. Teasing is how women build intimacy without pressure. It's how they invite you into their emotional space without saying it directly. But that invitation can be revoked quickly if your energy shifts into neediness, performance, or ego. That's why Stoicism matters, because when you master your inner world, external jabs, even playful ones, don't shake you. And when you show a woman that you can handle her light without dimming yours, she begins to trust your strength. So the next time she teases, you don't just hear the words. Feel the moment, smile, hold eye contact, then answer like a man who leads with energy, not ego. Now comment below. I play with presence, not performance. Number 4. When she mirrors you, the silent dance of emotional connection. She folds her arms just after you do. She sips her drink right after you raise yours. You lean in, and moments later, so does she. It's subtle, unspoken, almost invisible. But this quiet synchronization known as mirroring is one of the strongest subconscious signals of attraction. The question is, are you still enough to notice? Mirroring isn't something women decide to do. It's not calculated, it's instinctive. When a woman feels emotionally safe and deeply connected, her body naturally begins to mirror the energy of the man in front of her. It's a non-verbal way of saying, I feel attuned to you, I'm following your rhythm. And it only happens when she's genuinely present, not just polite. At its core, mirroring is about emotional resonance. According to neuroscience, mirror neurons in our brains activate when we observe someone else's behavior, especially when we feel connected to them. In relationships, this shows up as synchrony, the gentle echo of posture, gestures, breathing pace, or tone of voice. It's not mimicry, it's rapport. And in romantic dynamics, it's a window into her subconscious comfort level with you. But here's the danger. The moment you start searching for mirroring, you fall out of presence. You begin analyzing instead of experiencing, and the energy shifts. What once was natural becomes forced. Women feel that shift, and it pulls them out of the moment. The stoic man doesn't chase validation by hunting for signs. He stays still, not passive, but rooted. He notices without clinging, observes without needing. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it." The same applies here. It's not the presence or absence of mirroring that defines the moment, it's how grounded you remain regardless. Let's use a simple example. You're at dinner with a woman. You lean in to tell a story. A few seconds later, she leans in too, even though she could have stayed back. Later, you rest your elbow on the table and she mirrors the movement. As you talk, she nods in rhythm with your cadence. These are signs of unconscious alignment. She's syncing with your energy. But the worst thing you can do, force it. If you suddenly start mimicking her just to build rapport, it comes off as fake. Real mirroring is earned, not manufactured. So how do you respond to mirroring the Stoic way? Don't interrupt the flow. Stay focused on the interaction, not the analysis. Be in the experience, not above it. Acknowledge with presence. If you notice her mirroring smile inwardly, that's enough. Let it deepen your calm, not your ego. Let her lead sometimes. Mirroring is a two-way dance. Allow moments where she sets the rhythm and follow without losing yourself. Create emotional safety. Ask questions that show you're listening. Offer pauses in the conversation where she can step into your space. The point isn't to measure connection, it's to foster it. And mirroring is a natural result when emotional safety is present, not a tactic to manipulate your way there. The Stoic frame helps you avoid the performance trap. You're not in the moment to be liked, you're there to be true. And when that truth is calm, observant, and respectful, women don't just mirror your body, they mirror your presence. So remember, when she mirrors, you don't celebrate too early, don't assume too much, just stay steady, keep showing up, because in a world of chaotic energy, your grounded presence is the reason she leans in. Now comment below, I lead through stillness, she follows with presence. Number 5, she's trying to impress you, but not the way you think. She shows up in your favorite color, brings up a book you casually mentioned weeks ago, laughs at jokes only you two seem to find funny. On the surface, it might look like coincidence, but what's really happening is subtle self-presentation. When a woman is truly attracted, she won't always confess it directly. Instead, she aligns herself with you. She wants to impress you, not by changing who she is, but by amplifying what she believes will resonate with you. This is often one of the most misinterpreted signs of attraction. Many men notice these small efforts, but either brush them off as flattery or get overly excited assuming connection where there is only politeness. The Stoic man does neither. He observes with neutrality and presence, aware that real interest isn't declared, it's demonstrated. Psychologically, this behavior ties to the theory of self-presentation, the desire to be seen positively by someone we value. When a woman admires you, her subconscious starts to express alignment. She begins to highlight parts of herself that reflect what you appreciate. If you value intellect, she'll talk about the books she's reading. If you mentioned your love for nature, she might bring up a recent hiking trip. These aren't random, they're signals. But here's the key distinction. She's not doing it because she wants to win you. She's doing it because she wants to connect with you. And how you respond will either open that door wider or quietly close it. Too many men either ignore these signs, failing to engage, or react too quickly, misinterpreting them as sexual green lights. The Stoic approach is different. You acknowledge her effort not with flattery, but with thoughtful curiosity. For example, she brings up that sci-fi novel you love. Instead of responding with, "Oh, you're into sci-fi now," which can come off as sarcastic, try, "Interesting choice. What drew you to that one?" This shifts the moment from surface-level admiration to deeper emotional resonance. You invite her into your world without elevating yourself. That's subtle power. And here's where Stoic clarity matters most. Just because she's trying to impress you doesn't mean you abandon your standards. Attraction doesn't require you to lower discernment. In fact, it demands more of it. You should still ask, is she aligned with my values? Is this genuine connection or surface-level compatibility? Don't let flattery override your self-respect. This is the moment when emotional strength makes all the difference. Epictetus said, "Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." If you know who you are, you'll appreciate her effort without needing it. You'll stay composed, clear, and intentional, and that's when she respects you even more. So how do you apply this? Look beyond the surface. If she dresses a certain way or brings up shared interests, ask, is this an invitation to deeper connection? Respond with calm attention. Acknowledge her effort subtly. Show appreciation without gushing or making assumptions. Stay rooted in your values. Ask yourself whether her effort reflects true compatibility or just attraction to your presence. Use it as a mirror. Her desire to impress you can reveal how aligned you are emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. When a woman tries to impress you, she's revealing emotional investment. But how you respond with ego, with neediness, or with clarity determines whether that investment grows or fades. The Stoic man receives admiration with grace, not dependence. He holds his ground, smiles with calm eyes, and continues the dance at his pace. Because in the end, being impressive isn't about being flashy. It's about being centered, and when you are, she doesn't just try to impress you. She starts imagining what it would feel like to stay close. Now, comment below. I welcome admiration, but I stand in discernment. Number 6. She listens like you matter, the hidden power of her attention. There's a kind of silence that's louder than any words, the silence of someone truly listening, not just nodding, not just waiting to speak, but actually absorbing you. When a woman is emotionally drawn to you, one of the most overlooked signs is how deeply she listens. Because listening isn't passive, it's a form of presence, and presence is the purest form of attraction. In a distracted world, undivided attention is rare and meaningful. So when she leans in, holds eye contact, mirrors your gestures, and remembers small things you said, that's not just curiosity, that's connection. She's signaling that she's open, engaged, and invested in who you are, not just in what you can offer. Psychologically, this is tied to active listening, a behavior linked to empathy and emotional intimacy. Studies show that when someone listens attentively, both people's brains begin to synchronize. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, rises. Heart rates align. This is biological rapport. It's her nervous system saying, I feel safe with you, I want to know more. But here's the thing, most men completely miss it. They interpret her listening as politeness. They fill every silence. They turn the conversation back to themselves, trying to impress rather than connect. In doing so, they miss the chance to deepen attraction, all because they weren't attuned enough to notice the gold being offered right in front of them. The Stoic man sees things differently. He recognizes that true listening is a gift, and he returns it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When she's listening that deeply, she's letting your thoughts tint her world. That's sacred, that's intimate, and it's not something to be rushed or taken for granted. Let's bring this to life. You're talking to her about a childhood memory. She doesn't interrupt. Her eyes don't drift. When you pause, she gently asks, "How did that make you feel back then?" That moment, small as it seems, is a door, a chance to let her in. Not by oversharing, but by showing her that you're safe in your vulnerability. And then you return the gift. You ask her something that invites her inner world into the space. This is how attraction becomes bond. So how can you embody this in practice? Slow down your speech. Let your words land. Don't rush. Invite her into the rhythm of presence. Ask one thoughtful question, something simple but deep. What brings you peace, or what moment shaped you most this year? Notice her body language. Is she leaning in? Is her voice softer? Is she giving space for your words to breathe? Respond with your energy, not just your words. Let your calmness communicate safety. The more attentively she listens, the more open she's becoming. But here's the secret. She's not just listening to your stories. She's listening to who you are. She's testing. Do you ramble or do you speak from clarity? Do you chase approval or do you speak with quiet conviction? And when she sees that your calm is real, that your words come from a centered place, not a desperate one, her attraction deepens. Because women aren't seeking perfect words. They're seeking emotional presence. And the man who listens as well as he speaks becomes unforgettable. So the next time she listens like that, like you matter, don't let it pass. Honor it, mirror it, build from it. Because in that silence, something powerful is forming. Now, comment below. I listen to connect, not to impress. Number 7. Her proximity is not random. She wants to be near your energy. She chooses the seat next to you, even though others are open. She lingers after the group conversation ends. She walks just close enough for your arms to brush. These aren't accidents, they're choices. And when a woman finds subtle ways to stay physically close, it often means something deeper. She feels drawn to your presence and she wants more of it without saying a word. Most men overlook this sign. They assume it's coincidence, or they get excited and rush to act. But closeness, when it's intentional, is one of the most primal forms of nonverbal attraction. It's her nervous system saying, I trust you enough to be near you. I feel safe in your space. And trust in any emotional or romantic bond is where real intimacy begins. Let's explore the psychology. Proximity activates the brain's bonding systems. Oxytocin, the neurochemical responsible for attachment, is heightened through touch, closeness, and presence. But more importantly, a woman will only seek out proximity when she feels emotionally regulated around you. In simpler terms, if your energy is calm, centered, and non-invasive, she will naturally gravitate toward it. Like gravity, quiet but powerful. This is where the Stoic mindset gives you the ultimate edge. A reactive man misreads proximity as a green light to escalate physically or emotionally. A needy man becomes too eager, crowding her. But a Stoic man, he acknowledges her closeness with calm awareness. He doesn't rush. He doesn't question. He simply holds his frame, lets the moment breathe, and allows connection to grow at a natural pace. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "To be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved and the raging of the sea falls still around it." That's your job when she draws near. Don't fidget, don't lean in desperately, just be. Let your stillness make her feel safe and intrigued. Here's a real-life example. You're at a social event. She could stand anywhere, but she ends up next to you multiple times. When you move, she drifts closer. When you speak, she turns her body towards you. This is not random. And the worst thing you could do is joke, nervously invade her space too soon, or assume too much. Instead, maintain a composed presence. Turn slightly toward her, lower your voice a bit, and say something thoughtful, not flirty. Maybe. You seem to find the calm corners of the room too. It's subtle. It mirrors her behavior. And it invites her to stay without pressure. Here's how to master this dynamic. Notice the pattern. Is she near you consistently? Is she finding reasons to stay close? Don't crowd her. Keep your posture open but relaxed. Let her initiate physical closeness. Speak from stillness. Use your tone and calm body language to create a bubble of safety. Combine proximity with presence. Make her feel seen and respected while she's close. Don't use it as an opportunity to impress. Most men think attraction requires action, but many women are most drawn to the man who can sit still, hold space, and let her come closer on her terms. This restraint isn't weakness, it's magnetic power. Because when she chooses to be near you again and again, it means something. It means your energy is speaking louder than your words. And if you can hold that space without rushing to fill it, she won't just stay, she'll remember how you made her feel in your silence. You came here looking for certainty. Now you see the truth. A woman rarely says, "I want you." She shows it in behavior her ego can't filter. When she brings you into her personal space, laughs easily at your smallest jokes, mirrors your posture and tone, initiates conversation without needing a reason, remembers tiny details you've long forgotten, finds reasons to stay even in silence. She's not playing games. She's feeling a shift she can't fully explain. The Stoic man doesn't chase the confession. He recognizes the connection, then leads with calm presence. Carl Jung believed that what we feel but can't express will always find another way to be seen. And in attraction, it's always the body tone and timing that speak first. If you're ready to trust your awareness more than your doubt, like this video, subscribe, and comment. I see what her silence can't hide. Stay still, stay perceptive, because the man who notices quiet attraction becomes the one she never forgets.